Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, Composer Profile Day. Today we're going to be talking about Antonio Vivaldi. Let's get started. Antonio Vivaldi was born on March 4th, 1678 in Venice, Italy. His father, Giovanni Vivaldi, was a renowned violinist and subsequently taught young Antonio to play the violin. Now, from a young age, Antonio suffered from some health problems, the most notable being a form of asthma, which caused him to feel some tightness in his chest. This did not, however, prevent him from learning the violin or composing, but it did prevent him from learning some wind instruments. In addition to Antonio's passion for music, he also, in 1693, began studying to become a priest, eventually being ordained in 1703 at the age of 25. Now, shortly afterward, he was given the nickname the Red Priest, more than likely due to the family trait of red hair. Now, because of his health problem, Antonio's time in the priesthood was short-lived, and in 1704 he abandoned it altogether. Now, almost immediately after leaving the priesthood, Antonio was appointed as the violin teacher at the Ospital della Pietà in Venice, which was a combined orphanage, convent, and music school, which translates to the Devout Hospital of Mercy. Now, over the next 30 years, Antonio composed most of his major works while being employed there, most of which, if not all, were performed while employed there. Now, during his time there, Antonio created an orchestra consisting of the more talented musicians who would perform his compositions. This success led him to being named the music director in 1760. During this time of the early 18th century, opera was becoming a very big genre in the music industry and proved to be a very big breadwinner for Antonio. Two of his most famous operas out of the 50 or so that he wrote were the La Costanza Trionfante and the Farnese. Between 1717 and 1721, Antonio traveled extensively, accepting several small short-term music positions, one in particular being the Kapellmeister at the court of the prince in Mantua. After a few more tours, he returned to Venice in 1725, and it was during this time that he composed his rather extremely well-received four-part work, The Four Seasons. It's worth noting that 3 of the 4 parts in The Four Seasons were completely original, with only one of them being spring, using motifs from one of Antonio's operas. At the height of his career, Antonio was receiving commissions from many European nobility, including King Louis XV and Emperor Charles VI. This, however, did not turn over into be as much of a financial success, as Antonio was eclipsed by many younger composers who favored new composing techniques. In the late 1730s, Antonio traveled to Vienna, most likely to continue staging opera, but this was short-lived as Charles VI died not long after Antonio arrived, leaving him without any source of income. Antonio Vivaldi died in poverty at the age of 63 on July 26, 1741. His funeral was very simple, and he was buried in a very simple grave. Ironically, there was no music played at his funeral. Now, while Antonio's music became less popular as he aged, a lot of it is still performed today. With over 500 concertos, 90 sonatas, 46 operas, and much chamber music, Antonio's legacy will continue to live on for many years to come. Thank you all for watching this, another wonderful composer profile. Next week, I will more than likely be out in Ohio for it, but these are going to continue as best as I can make them. So have a great weekend, and I will see you all next week.